Model steam engines top tip time, part 60. In this video I'm featuring a problem that occurs all too often, both in locomotives and stationary engines that have cast iron cylinders. What exactly is the problem, why is it happening, and what is the solution? There are many useful top tips in this episode and it's well worth watching. With some air connected to the engine, you can see it's not working. The reason I made this 21-part series in the first place is to try and show people that miniature steam locomotives can be very problematic. Just recently, I've had a lot of emails asking me to rebuild and repair and repaint old model steam locomotives, and in most cases this is completely impractical. In this video I show a very common problem. Just one word: rust. I connected some low pressure compressed air to the engine. It tries to work, but it can't work. The question is this a piston valve problem where one of the rings on the bobbin has broken up and gone down the port? Or am I looking for too complicated a problem? Is it something simpler? There's only one way to find out. Take it apart and have a look at it. Oh no, not silicone rubber again. The last person who worked on this engine did something at the cylinders. I don't know what he did. But when he put the covers back on, he used silicone rubber to seal the joint. I would prefer to make a gasket, and that way you can take the cover off whenever you like. So what's the problem? You can see it very clearly. The piston is absolutely rusted solid into the cylinder, and so is the valve. Many times I've mentioned this in quite a lot of my videos. Whenever you run a steam engine, whether it's a locomotive or a stationary engine, if it has cast iron parts, run some oil through, and preferably some WD-40 as well. After I fixed it, I called the owner of the engine to tell him that I'd fixed it and asked him why he left the cylinder full of water after the previous run. He told me that the last time he ran this engine was in the evening, and after the running he forgot to drain the cylinder. So now it's time for some ultra-violence. I'll rephrase that, some very controlled ultra-violence, lots of very small taps with a hammer against a piece of brass bar, which in turn is against the piston. So I could keep the brass bar in the centre of the piston because the buffer beam's in the way. After the piston started to move, I selected a lesser diameter piece. And don't forget, it's very important to remove the valve linkages. If you're very busy banging away on the piston like I'm doing, if the valve gear is connected to the valves, then there could be a big problem, and you might end up mangling your valve gear if the valve is also stuck, which in this case it very much is. So I'm removing the small anchor link at the bottom of the valve gear, and now I can move the valve gear out of the way, so I can get just to the piston valve. You definitely do not want to sprain or break any parts of the valve gear, and some of the parts of these valve gears are surprisingly fragile. And now, using an even smaller piece of soft metal, I'm going to attempt to free off the valve. You will notice that I use lots of low velocity hammer blows on the piece of metal, which with the help of some WD-40 is just enough to free the rusted parts. And now I can almost rotate the wheels all the way around, but not quite. It still needs a bit more tapping on the piston. This really is very bad. There was a lot of water left in this cylinder which badly rusted everything together. A much better way of doing this job is to totally dismantle the cylinder at this side, but the owner of this engine took my suggestion that we just get this to work rather than going to town on it. And the worst case scenario is that the cost of repair, based on an hourly rate, once completed exceeds the value of the steam locomotive itself. I'm refitting the valve linkages at both sides, making sure of course that I do tighten up the nuts thoroughly on the valve pins. If you work a lot with steam locomotives, miniature ones I mean, you have to get used to the fact that as you run it, it will wear out. This is true with all engines, but steam locomotives are in a much more hostile environment. Under a panel at the front of the engine is a mechanical lubricator. This is a twin tank mechanical lubricator, one for each cylinder. And both of the pumps appear to work. I'm rotating them manually with the wheel on the end to get some more oil into the cylinders, because very shortly I'll be trying to run this engine. Time to fit the cover on the end of the piston valve chamber. This is held in place by one bolt. which is all it needs. It's a very low stress component. It's just to keep dirt out of the piston valve area. And it doesn't need a gasket or anything because there's no steam pressure at the other side of it. I really love steam locomotives. They were my first love going way back. I'm connecting an air supply via the injector steam pipe. I haven't replaced the front cylinder cover yet because I'm hoping that the first blast of air blows away at least some of the debris in the cylinder. Out of curiosity, I'm feeding this locomotive with only about 30 pounds per square inch, as you can hear from the whistle. This is still not on much pressure, that's why I keep blowing the whistle to show you that it's running on low pressure. And it's not too bad. The beats aren't terribly even, but then again, part of the cylinder is still full of rust. This will take a while to wear away. Plus often on these small rolling roads, the beats aren't as even as they could be, because don't forget, there isn't much flywheel effect on these small wheels. The inertia and flywheel effect occurs when the locomotive's on the track, rolling down the track. Here's my very small and very quiet compressor. It isn't a very high capacity compressor and soon gets exhausted. I'll turn the pressure up. Slowly the locomotive is getting better all the time. I've said before, steam locomotives are brutal. It's raw power. They're the Ferraris of the steam engine world. Well, maybe not all of them, but generally speaking, they work very hard. The harder the work the locomotive is given to do, the louder the blast is and more powerful, which in turn draws the fire, which in turn causes more heat, which in turn gives more steam, and the cycle begins again. Keep your fingers out of the way of these at all times. All I need to do with this now for the moment is make a gasket for the front cylinder cover, bolt the front cylinder cover back in place, and then generally test it. Here's a shot of the engine cylinder, and it still needs cleaning up. But before I fit the cylinder cover, I do need to do something else. Why did the cylinder and the piston valve rust up so badly? At this point I should really say thanks for watching and I hope you found it useful, and leave the episode with a cliffhanger. But no, instead I will tell you what my theory is as to why the cylinder and piston valve rusted up. The reason is that the water could not get out of the cylinder after the last run. Here I'm checking out the drain cocks using a very small drill bit, and both of them are extremely blocked. So blocked in fact, I'm going to have to drill the residue out using this drill bit, hopefully without breaking it off. I'm not going to use a power tool for this. This is a pin vise, and I've fitted the small drill bit into the pin vise, and now, if I can get it in the right place, I'm going to slowly drill my way through the blockage. Most important, if you're doing this, make sure the drain cocks are actually open. Lesson 1 when running a small locomotive. After every run, you need to make sure that there isn't any water left in the cylinders. So all you do is open the drain cocks and run the engine up and down the track, and all the water's blown out, and leave the drain cocks open while you store the engine. I've always done this with every locomotive I've ever had, and I can safely say that I've never ever had this problem that I'm seeing with this locomotive. What I'm doing at the moment is injecting some oil into the cylinder, quite a lot of oil. This is ordinary lubricating oil, and it's in an oil can that I use for getting to inaccessible places. The engine definitely didn't like having so much lubricating oil in the cylinder. The main thing is though, with the drain cocks open, the oil is coming out of the cylinder and it's a very dirty black colour. The amount of oil is dwindling now, and it's much dirtier than it was to start with. This is a simple job that could have been made a whole lot worse had the twist reel have broken off in the drain cock. But I'm not even going to think about that. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website. Click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you will find it very easy to find other videos that you may like to watch.